What is up, YouTube, and welcome back to another video on high altitude investing. In today's video, we are going to be talking about why I am bearish on Bitcoin. But before we get started, if you're not a member of the free Discord, please click the link in the description box below and get started with the free Discord. And without further ado, we'll get straight into today's video. Okay, so starting off with Bitcoin here on the daily candlesticks. Now the first thing I want to show you guys here is this rising wedge pattern on Bitcoin. As you guys can see, we do have a rising wedge on Bitcoin. We broke bearish out of that rising wedge and came up to the resistance of the wedge. This is very, very common to see this happen on rising wedge patterns, to break bearish and then have a retest of the wedge before you push lower in price. So that's nothing new here with Bitcoin. And the other thing that I wanted to show you guys here is the Elliott wave count on Bitcoin. We have been talking about this a little bit in previous videos, but let's go ahead and touch on that a little bit today. So you guys can see we have wave A, wave B, and we're expecting wave C. Now, where does wave C stop? Well, this is part of an Elliott wave 3 wave. So we have our first wave down here, wave 1, wave 2, then we have wave 3, and wave 4 commonly stops between the 50% Fibonacci retracement and the 618 level. So that's exactly where those fib levels go, is the target that I've been talking about on Bitcoin for multiple different videos now, which is 50K per Bitcoin. So pullback to 50K here is exactly what I expect to have happen on Bitcoin before we can push higher. There's a lot of FOMO up here, a lot of people thinking we're just going to go up forever, a lot of people that are expecting more upside, and I personally don't see it in the chart. I see a lot more downside before we can go up higher. Now, if we go over to the liquidation chart, you guys can see here that most all of the liquidations on Bitcoin are below 70K. So most everybody is long right now, expecting more upside, and all of the whales are short because they know that all the retail money is trying to go long. And when all the retail money is trying to go long, what has to happen? The market has to pull back. The market has to see a healthy correction. So to have a wave 4 here is exactly what we expect to have happen as a result of Elliott wave theory. We have wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, and we just need to have wave 4 here, healthy correction, before we can pull up or go back up for a 5th wave. So a healthy pullback here is exactly what we need to have happen inside of this market. Now, if we do have a pullback to 50K, that means that we're going to have a 5th wave coming. And everybody that wants to be super bullish can be bullish with confidence because we had a pullback. But right now we're at major resistance, and every single person on the entire internet is bullish on Bitcoin. And I'm here to tell you that the whales are not going to let the market go up when everybody thinks it's going to go up. That's just not what's going to happen. So yeah, we do have a lot of liquidity down here below 70K. We also have a lot of support down here at around 50K per Bitcoin. So I definitely think we will pull back here on Bitcoin and see a nice correction, and a lot of people will get shaken out, and as a result of them getting shaken out, they're really going to think that we're going to go in for a deeper correction. So this is what it could look like here with Bitcoin over the next few months. We could have a pullback right here. We're in the bull trap right now. That's the exact point of the market cycle where everybody expects us to just keep going up like crazy. If you look on the market cycle chart, it says we just need to cool off for the next rally. Complacency. People think we're just going to go straight up right here. And once we start to pull back, they'll start to panic. First, they'll be in denial, anxiety and denial, and then they'll start to panic. They'll freak out when Bitcoin comes down here to like 50K per coin and pulls back to major support where it needs to go before we can push higher. And yeah, because everybody was trying to buy wave B up here, they're going to panic sell. And when they panic sell at the bottom of wave C, they're not going to expect more upside. They're going to expect more downside. In their minds, they're going to be thinking, oh, this means we're going to have to crash lower. But I personally think that 50K level is going to be the best place since the bull market started to pick up Bitcoin if you haven't had a chance to really buy the dip here. You know, I was talking about Bitcoin going up here at 16K before we went up to 74,000 per coin, and yet almost nobody was expecting more upside. Most everybody was expecting a huge crash in Bitcoin. Why? Because when you don't understand Elliott wave theory, and when you're not expecting a crash, when one happens, you're going to be bearish at the bottom. Just like how if you don't understand market cycles and human emotion, you're going to be bullish up here at the top before we go lower. So you just have to understand that these markets are volatile. They go up, they come back down. And if you're FOMO buying up here like the rest of the entire planet, don't be shocked when Bitcoin pulls back to 50K and you're like, whoa, what happened there? I thought the ETF for Ethereum got approved. I thought we were going to go crazy here. Well, markets have to have healthy corrections. And most everybody's going to be bearish down here at 50K at that exact point where it's really going to get juicy, where it's going to be a perfect buying opportunity for the people that understand what's going on in the market and are willing to capitalize on everybody else's irrational behavior. Because that's exactly what this is. The market is being irrational. People are FOMO buying the heck out of Bitcoin when it's already gone up like, 300% since its bottom? 355%. And yet everybody's expecting 100K. You don't think Bitcoin can have a pullback to 50K after going up 355%? A 34% pullback is completely normal for Bitcoin, even within a bull market. So don't be shocked if Bitcoin pulls back to 50K before we go up, because the whole world thinks we're going to go up. Everybody and their mom is buying Bitcoin up here at 70K, expecting 100K per Bitcoin, and almost nobody's looking at a pullback to 50K. All the liquidations are right below 70K. What does that tell you? That tells you that everybody is long. Everybody's expecting more upside, and they're so confident that they think that they can just have a massive long position open and have a really, really close liquidation, and that the market's not going to pull back to 50K because it's just guaranteed to go to 100K now. And that's not how markets work. That's not the nature of this game. The nature of this game is that the market has to screw everybody. It has to liquidate everybody. That's why there's this thing called liquidity zones. And that's exactly what this is down here on Bitcoin at around 50,000 per coin. That's a major liquidity zone. And as we pull back on Bitcoin, everybody that's long is going to get liquidated. So that's the way markets work. Why do you think Bitcoin pulled back to 16K in the first place after it hit 70? It's the same thing. It's just a smaller kind of version of that same psychology that took place on Bitcoin. Last time it hit 69, 70K, it pulled all the way back to 16K. Nobody expected it. Everybody was trying to hold on to the top. And when it pulled back to 16K, they thought it was going to go down to like 8K or like 5K. And it bounced all the way up here. It went all the way to 72K. The market screws everybody. That it's designed to do that. And the better you get at seeing the patterns and the more you understand what the whales are doing, the more you're not going to fall for these stupid tricks over and over again that the majority of people do. And you're going to be able to say, oh, look, we had an ABC correction last time Bitcoin rallied like crazy. Maybe this rally needs to have a nice healthy correction before we go up higher on Bitcoin. And yeah, I'm getting torn up in my YouTube comments right now, and I'm approving all of them, even though a lot of them are really rude. Why? Because the entire crowd, everybody thinks that we're going to go up. That's just, if you follow the herd, you're going to get led to the slaughterhouse. So don't follow the crowd. Be fearful when others are greedy, and greedy when others are fearful. Everybody is so greedy with crypto right now, it's mind-boggling. And they just think, oh, we're just going to go to 100K, 90K. We can have these really, really tight liquidations. It doesn't matter if we have a liquidation below 70K because it's guaranteed we're going to go to 100K. Have you seen all those bullish charts, man? No, Bitcoin can absolutely pull back to 50K and screw everybody and liquidate everybody. And then they'll be like, oh, wow, I shouldn't have FOMO bought up there. What was I thinking? Well, you were getting caught up in the news. You were getting caught up in the hype, and you were being greedy when other people are being greedy instead of fearful when other people are being greedy. So you got to do the opposite of what the crowd is doing. And the crowd is buying Bitcoin right now, expecting some massive run up to 100K, and everybody's posting bullish charts, and the entirety of Twitter is bullish. Yet all the liquidation prices are so close that if it starts to pull back, that thing's going to pull back faster and faster and faster. And it's going to test like 50K and liquidate everybody. The market can pull back, and you might think that you have enough, that you're solvent, when you realize that you don't have enough capital to stay liquid through a huge crash. You're not liquid for that kind of a move. So just be wise out there, okay? Don't get caught up in the emotions. Don't FOMO buy because everybody's FOMO buying. Don't be surprised if Bitcoin pulls back to 50K before we go higher. That's my message for the day. The stock market has bearish divergence on the daily. The stock market has bearish divergence and Bitcoin's going to go up? No. If the stock market pulls back right here, like I suspect it will, Bitcoin is absolutely going to pull back as well. So yeah, keep your eyes on Bitcoin, keep your eyes on the stock market, and be aware of a potential pullback in these markets, and don't get irrational. I'm 50% out of this market. You know, we're at resistance. Like if we break slightly up above resistance and start breaking out, you can always change your position if you need to. But if we pull back another 30%, you guys are going to get wrecked for having all your money in the markets. So start thinking like a person that understands risk to reward and stop FOMO buying at major all-time high resistance. That's my view on Bitcoin. Hey, thank you guys so much for tuning into today's video. I hope you enjoyed it and found it valuable. If you did, please do me a favor and share it with your friends. And I look forward to seeing you guys in future videos. As always, stay profitable out there.